and welcome to GMO Media Presents Incredible Journeys, Brands and Leaders, where we explore businesses, leaders and their incredible journeys. In this episode, we delve into Watertech India, a leading bath faucet and bathroom solutions provider that is revolutionizing the industry with its unwavering commitment to quality, innovation and design excellence. Established in 1997, Watertech embarked on a mission to redefine the bathroom landscape in India. Driven by an unwavering commitment to superior quality and innovative design, the company set out to replace substandard metal fittings and accessories with cutting-edge, virgin-grade engineering polymer products. Over the years, Watertech has evolved from a pioneering polymer products company into a comprehensive bathroom solutions provider, representing uncompromising quality, cutting-edge design, and manufacturing prowess. Today, the brand enjoys the trust and loyalty of discerning customers across the country, having cemented its position as one of India's fastest-growing end-to-end bathroom solutions providers. Watertech's comprehensive product portfolio and services are united under the brand's unique H2O promise, a steadfast commitment to health, hygiene, and original design. From sleek and durable faucets to state-of-the-art sanitary ware and elegant accessories, every Watertech offering is engineered to deliver unparalleled quality, exceptional performance, and enduring aesthetic appeal. Backed by world-class manufacturing facilities, a robust nationwide distribution network, and a team of passionate experts, Watertech continues to redefine the bathroom experience in India. Leading the way for this groundbreaking organization is Matthew Job, Executive Chairman of Watertech India. With over 3 decades of illustrious experience in value creation across companies, Matthew Job has been tasked with leading Watertech to become a leading bath fittings and bathroom solutions provider in India. Hello sir and welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us. Watertech was established in 1997 with the goal of revolutionizing the bathroom industry. So could you talk to us about the journey behind its founding and the vision of its founders?
Yeah, as you said, Watertech was founded in 1997 with the vision of revolutionizing the bathroom fittings industry in India by providing high-quality, innovative products. The founders of the company were driven by an understanding of the problems faced by the Indian consumers in the bathroom space. Most of the metal taps that were on sale at that time were high priced, and they had problems with leaking, scaling, and rusting. Now these problems become even more pronounced, either in the coastal areas or in areas where there was hard water. So the founders of the company found a unique opportunity to provide high quality products made of engineering polymer that would not only address the functional requirements of the Indian consumer, but also their aesthetic and experiential requirements from the bathroom. So Watertech was then set up at that point of time to provide products that would combine great functionality, great aesthetics, and sustainability. The aim of the company is to thus become a market leader in the bathroom space in India.
Right. How has Watertech's journey over the last 2.5 decades evolved? What were the major milestones or inflection points that has shaped its journey so far?
As I said, in 1997, the company was set up as basically a joint venture between 3 parties. At the starting point itself, the company recognized that it produced great products, which would address the requirements of Indian consumers. As I mentioned, the company would have to set up its own manufacturing facility. So right in the year 1997, the company set up its first factory in Coimbatore, on a 4.5-acre campus, using the latest German machinery that was available at that time. Right from 1997 to 2012, the company introduced a host of products, starting with simple taps, but then expanding to mixers, and faucets, and so on and so forth. In 2012, the company decided that it had to extend beyond only making polymer bath fittings and started getting into what I call the PVC, pipes business. The company continued to expand on its range of polymer bath fittings, getting into products like cisterns, valves, even more innovative products like tank filters, and so on and so forth. In 2016-17, the company required greater capacity to support its growth, so it put up a third factory again in Coimbatore, over a 75,000 square feet, area. Our company continued to expand its product portfolio for then, bringing in even newer products. In 2020, the company launched a second brand called Exeto, an entirely homegrown brand targeted at consumers looking for affordable luxury. In 2023, there was a major change in terms of the ownership of the company from the three parties who owned the company pretty much right from the beginning till 2023. The company was acquired by Warburg Pincus in 2023.
Sounds very inspiring. Now, how does your commitment to research and development shape your product roadmap and the innovation pipeline? And where does the inspiration for the R&D come from? Because you mentioned that you had an international collaboration. So do they give their products and you take on their technology? Do you look at the pain points in India and then come up with something very different, maybe something that they don't have? How does the R&D work?
I think for us, innovation is about two things, and I think both things need to work to make great products. I think first, as you mentioned, is to understand the pain points of consumers, with the problems we are trying to solve from them. In this case, it's primarily in the bathroom space. Second is, once you understand the consumer pain points, one needs to then apply the technology, the material understanding that we have, and all the capabilities that we have in the company to then solve those consumer pain points better than everybody else. And that's how you build a really innovative and superior product portfolio. And that's what the company has been doing from day one. I think the kind of passion that the company has in finding unique solutions to consumer problems is something which sets this company apart from everybody else. Most of the polymer bath fittings industry in India use a material called PTMT. Okay, and that's where you will see that every other company other than WATERTEC uses that as the base for making their products. WATERTEC thought differently, and we use a unique material called POM, and it's polyacetol. And why is it different? Because, as I mentioned before, the Indian consumers are facing problems of leakage, scaling with metal taps. Okay, and that was a problem which we wanted to address when we got in. So we wanted to produce something which looked great, had a great white glossy finish, at the same time had great durability. So while the whole industry in India went the PTMT way, WATERTEC chose to go with POM. I can give you many such examples, but I think it's not only about technology, it's about how we apply simple design, and that's where I think WATERTEC excels in.
Yes, but Indian customers have a unique issue. They want the best quality, but they also want value. So how does WATERTEC's products fit in the value for value-conscious customers? And how do you market and brand your product accordingly? What is the placement in the market?
I would say, I would exactly use the word that you spoke about, value than price. Okay, because I think every consumer looks for a certain set of things that a product has got to do, okay, versus what he's willing to pay for it. And it's because of the fact that we understand the consumer pain points very well, and we bring simple solutions that will actually solve the consumer problem better than anybody else. We are able to charge a premium, and even at that premium, consumers find the products better value than everybody else. And that's the reason that we have become a market leader in the industry. Is a testimony to the fact that consumers find our products great value. Sometimes in today's world, I would say the power of word of mouth tends to be downplayed. Actually, I would say that one of the biggest strengths of the company is once a WATERTEC consumer, always a WATERTEC consumer, because of the fantastic usage experience they have with our product. Not only they come back and use our products again, but they are also great promoters for our brand, because they say, anybody wants a product, they always recommend WATERTEC. So one of the biggest strengths that we have as a company is we find that we have very, very high consumer retention. Second is, it's not only the consumer. In this industry, the plumbers play a very important role, okay? Because most of the decisions of actually what to buy at the shop tends to be made by the plumber. And the company has spent a lot of time and effort engaging with the plumber, training them, also to how to install the products better. It's not only about what the plumber earns from installing our products, but also to ensure that the installation for them becomes easy and it's trouble-free. Because the last thing a plumber wants is something which is installed, the consumer having to call him and tell him, hey, what have you installed? So by training them well to have great installation, the plumbers come on our side.
How has your prior experience in other companies helped shape the growth of WATERTEC and its strategic direction going ahead?
See, I have worked in multiple companies in the past, companies of all shades, sizes and colors. Starting with Philips, which is a market leader, very well-known brand, mature market, then with Grohe, a small company in India, but aspiring to grow quickly, globally, private equity owned. Third, I worked with Racolt, which is again a single category company, but which is owned by an Italian family. And last was Crompton. I joined Crompton at a time when it was moving from being a family or Indian entrepreneur-owned company to becoming a private equity-owned company, which is very similar to the position Watertech is in today. I think a few things which I've learned I'm trying to use at Watertech. One is every company, while business principles remain very same across businesses, I think every company has a unique context. And I think it's very important for anybody who comes in to understand that context very well. Okay? Second is a transformation which you want to drive, I think, is a marathon rather than a sprint. Okay? I think many leaders feel pressurized to come in and make changes, very soon, to make an impact immediately. I have learned from my past experience, from the mistakes that I have made in the past, that's not required. You're running a long race. It is not the person who is leading at the first lap who is going to win at the end. Second is about, I don't think anybody, a leader who comes in newly, he needs to know everything. He doesn't need to find all the answers. And that's something which leaders often mistakenly assume that they need to have all the answers. I think the more important thing is to recognize that the company has a great set of capabilities, a great set of experiences which one must draw on. I think the only benefit which somebody coming in newly will bring in is the ability to think differently. I think the key is, for the new leader coming in, is to be able to ask the right questions to the experienced people in the company and help them find the answers. Because that will do two things. The quality of the thinking that coming out of that exercise is likely to be much better. The team is then much more likely to be committed to the changes one needs to make. So that's how I would say the learnings I've had from the kind of companies I've worked in the past, definitely going to help me and to lead this company for the next few years.
Sounds great. We'll keep this conversation going, but right now we'll slip into a short break. Keep watching. GMO Media presents Incredible Journeys, Brands and Leaders. Watertech's commitment to quality and innovation is epitomized by its state-of-the-art manufacturing facilities across India. The company's flagship production unit, sprawled across 3 acres in Nilambur village near Coimbatore, is a shining example of engineering prowess and technological sophistication. Spanning an impressive 75,000 square feet, this modern marvel boasts of the most advanced automation technology, seamlessly integrating the entire manufacturing activities and material flows for enhanced efficiency and precision. From safety and comfort to style and versatility, every aspect of the production process is meticulously engineered to deliver products of unparalleled quality. Backed by ISO 9001 certification, Watertech's state-of-the-art production facilities showcase the brand's dynamic and innovative spirit, reinforcing its position as a leader in the bathroom solutions industry. Welcome back to GMO Media presents Incredible Journeys, Brands and Leaders. In today's episode, we are featuring Watertech India, and I have its chairman with me, Mr. Matthew Job. Thank you, sir. And you were talking about the manufacturing facilities. You have 3 of them in and around Coimbatore. So how have the manufacturing facilities and the adoption of Industry 4.0 technologies enhanced your operational efficiencies?
Yeah, I think we have implemented a host of Industry 4.0 principles in our factories. For example, in Unit 3, all the injection molding machines and the robots are Industry 4 compliant. Just to give you some examples, the injection molding machines are, I would say, quite smart machines. So depending on the ambient conditions and also the conditions within the machine itself, it is able to, for example, modulate or adjust the way the components or the incoming materials are being mixed to be able to give the best possible output. That's one example. Through the interconnected systems, for example, the robots are able to adjust themselves depending on the situation in the earlier part of the production process. The other area where we have done quite a bit of work is around predictive maintenance, because we have installed sensors in our machines, so we are able to reasonably predict the expected failure of these machines. Basically means that we are able to minimize the unplanned downtime. The two things, when you minimize the unplanned downtime, one, you get the machines working for more time, obviously, but second, if there's an unplanned downtime and you have to start up the machine again, the two things happen. One is you need time to run up the machines to the level of for them to be working normally, and the second thing is also during the time of the run up you also get more rejects. So by actually eliminating or reducing the unplanned downtime, we are able to significantly improve the overall equipment effectiveness in the factory. So I think in the implementation of these, Industry 4 principles has actually helped improve the operational performance of our factories to a large extent.
And what is the role of digital transformation in your company's operations, say from supply chain to customer engagement?
I would say digital transformation, for example, in terms of what we've done in the factory, I just explained as part of Industry 4.0. But a lot of work is happening to expand or to start using data and digital transformation across different areas. Let me give you some examples. While we have great visibility, obviously, of the supply chain situation within the four walls of the company, which basically means in our factory or in our branches, our visibility till date for what's happening outside the walls of the company has been limited. So one of the things we are trying to do is to expand this visibility well outside the walls of the company. Second is in terms of our own sales organization. We are trying to put in place or connect our customers to us, for example. So we have visibility of what they are selling, where they are selling, how much they are selling, which SKUs are doing well, which are not doing so well.
So these are your sales agents?
Our distributors. So basically helps us to do two things. One, of course, depending on their stocks, what is selling, what is not selling. One, I'm able to plan my production better, forecast my requirement better. But second, also to be able to intervene at the right point, to be able to to take the sales up in the way we want.
And what are some of the key sustainability initiatives you've taken? You've spoken about a little bit about this earlier. Could you elaborate more on it? And is it really relevant today? Are people willing to pay extra?
Yes, I would think multiple things. Let me talk about our production facilities. Okay, where we think what the few things we're trying to do is use more environmentally safe substances in our production process. That's one. Second is obviously to reduce waste. If waste is generated, reuse and recycle. So I would say as part of the production process, there is always some waste that happens. But the way we have engineered our products and our manufacturing process, more than 98% of the waste that's generated, we are able to reuse in the manufacturing process. I would say another very important area is usage of renewable energy sources more and more to power the production. But most importantly, I would say is water is a very scarce resource. Okay, and you have seen from the recent example in Bangalore, for example, how difficult it is, and that's likely to become only much more prevalent across the country in time to come. So I think one of the things we're trying to do is to make our products, in terms of water consumption, much more I would say much more efficient. So we have now used a simple technology, like we spoke about R&D, simple technology called pressure compensating washers in many of our products. So you get the same experience, whether you're using a shower or the tap, with 50 to 60% less water consumption. And I think that's today, we said it's very important. And I think for the new generation, they are much more conscious of these things. The other thing which we are doing a lot of is to actually work with like-minded partners, to promote this whole idea of water conservation. I think recently we have started working with an NGO based out of Coimbatore to try and educate the consumers about simple things they can do to save water. So I think we think we have a great role to play in the way water is managed, and that I think is going to be the core of our sustainability platform going forward.
That's great, and it's very heartening for the future generation. What are the key focus areas for Watertech's future growth and expansion plans, both in India and abroad?
Yeah, as I said, we started as a polymer bath fittings company, and naturally we are strong in South because we started out in Coimbatore. So if you ask me, our core business today is still polymer bath fittings, and that too primarily in South, while we have a reasonable position also in the Eastern region. Our first thing is to focus on our strong areas. Okay, I think that's very important because for me or the company to have the ability to look at areas outside our core areas, we have to ensure that our strong areas are working well. And second is, of course, then to start expanding in the weaker markets, which is primarily in the North and the West. Fully recognizing that it's not going to be a cakewalk, because just like we are able to hold our fortress strongly in South, there are other embedded competitors in other regions. So we need to again find a unique consumer advantage, which we are able to deliver for us to be able to make a breakthrough in those markets. So understanding those markets, the water conditions there, the way products are used, and work some solutions for them to be able to break a breakthrough in those markets. That's one, I would say. Number two, I think, as I mentioned, we started a pipe business about 2013-14. But I think we haven't made the kind of headway in the market that we should have. And that's again down to understanding why it has not worked as well as it should. I think that's where going back into the context of the company, working with the people in the company to understand why it has not worked, and then changing a few small things around to ensure that we are able to get better success this time around. The third area I think is an opportunity again. I think today polymer bath products are primarily used in tier 2 and tier 3 towns. In tier 1 you have more metal products, sanitary ware. I think that's a huge opportunity for the company because we have great understanding of water technology. The ability to manage water, the way it is being used. So I think we can bring the technology to play also in the market of metal fittings and sanitary ware.
Finally, as the Executive Chairman of the company, what are the unique leadership qualities and strategies you employ to drive WaterTech's continued success?
I think, like I mentioned before, while business principles are the same across businesses, I think the unique context of every company is very important. I think the first thing which I've tried to do in my time here is to understand the unique context, with the great capabilities the company has, because I think very important is to grow always on the current foundation that's already been built. So I'm appreciating what has got the company here and ensuring that we keep that going forward. Understanding by working closely with the people, some things which have probably not worked as well, or maybe the context of the market has changed, and then working with them to evolve new areas for growth. Working closly with them to then implement those things. And I think other thing which I mentioned some time back is it's a long distance race. It's not a sprint. I think change management becomes very, very important. I think one of the things I've learned from making some mistakes in my previous organization is sometimes you tend to think that changes will happen very quickly. One needs to have the right amount of patience. I think one of the reasons why change management often fails is either you give up too early or you don't invest enough in terms of training and and training the people to adapt to those changes. I think those are the things which are top of my agenda as we go forward.
Right. Thank you so much for sparing the time and talking with us.
Thank you.
Guided by a bold vision and a relentless drive to exceed customer expectations, WaterTech is charting a course towards a more sustainable tomorrow. Through the strategic integration of advanced manufacturing practices, resource-efficient processes, and eco-conscious product development, the brand is setting new benchmarks for the industry to follow, cementing its legacy as India's preeminent provider of comprehensive bathroom solutions. So that was the incredible journey of WaterTech India. We'll soon be back with another fascinating story in GMO Media Presents Incredible Journeys, Brands and Leaders. Thanks for watching.